You want to know when people betray you? When they can't manipulate you. When you won't play by their rules, when you won't bow down to them, when you won't do what they ask you to do, when you won't kiss their backside, when you refuse to be what other folk have called you to be, your Judas is coming. Whenever you commit yourself to walking in the righteousness of God and saying, for God I live and for God I'll die, and I'll do what God has called me to do, your Judas is coming.
This is true. When they can't manipulate you anymore, they can't control you, they can't dictate how you move about and decisions and choices that you make, you will be on a hit list. Oh yes. When the pastor says Judas, you know what Judas did, you know. Yeah, people don't like those that they can't control. People love puppets. People love people who want to fit in, want to, do what the crowd is doing, no thought process of their own. People love those type of people, because if I can control you, I can get everything I want. I know that you're not going anywhere. I know that you don't have any options. I know that you're going to stick and stay. You'll find that in all relationships. Not all relationships, but what I mean is whomever you encounter, whether it be platonic, romantic, whether it be business, professional, whatever, business or whatever case may be. Oh yes, people love to manipulate. They don't like when they can't manipulate you, because, people's nature is just to get over. People take your kindness for weakness. They think because you don't say anything, you just kind of observe and look and act as if you don't know what's going on, but you really do. They play off of that and they think that they can get over to their benefit. That's typically how it goes. But what a lot of people need to realize, it's never checkers. It's always chess. People like to insult your intelligence. They like to think that you wet behind the ears, or what others like to say, you're green, you don't know better. But I don't know where people get that from, because if you've lived on this earth long enough, you can't really be manipulated. The only persons that can be manipulated are those that have low self-esteem. They don't know their worth. They don't know who they are. They don't have any options. They don't know who they are in Christ. So, they just feel like, they got to be bendable and moldable like a piece of clay. But when you've come to a place in your life that you know who you are in Christ, God has taught you who you are, and you've set yourself in such a place that you cannot be moved. You can't be manipulated. You just can't. And you won't. You refuse to. So don't be manipulated. Be the outlier. Because if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. You know the saying, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. Yeah, if I'm saying it correct. But yeah, that's it. That's all. That's the word for the day, guys. Y'all have a good one, all right? Bye.